Hi, today I'm going to have a go at making another one of these. It's the top pink part is rose knot tied in the same way that Mikko Snellman ties his, and the rest of it I pretty much made up. So we'll give it a go. I tend to make things up as I go along often, so what we end up with might not be the same as this, but it'll be close. It's the pink cord is introduced to the knot in the core here, which just acts as a core, and I've introduced them one at a time, which gives that tapered feel to it. And then I pull them out of the core at this point, and then carry on to do the central bud part of it, and then use the pink cords to tie the rose itself. Anyway, let's get started. I've got 5 lengths of this is 3.5mm cord. The colours I'm using today are different because this is what I've got around, and the thickness is a bit different to this one too. So this is 3.5, and there's 5 of them at 500 mils. So we'll leave those aside for the moment, we don't need those straight away. And we've got 2 lengths of 1.5 metre, and this is 2.5mm cord. I'll put a list down in the description, but you know, don't be too specific about it. You can just whatever you've got at hand. You can use the same size cord. It's not necessary to do it all the same way I do. I mean, I don't do it the same way I do, so just play around. So these 2 cords you centre, and we're going to open up the lay of one of them. This is hard laid cord, and it's quite fine, so it's hard to get the lay open sometimes. Nearly there. Okay, this step isn't completely necessary. You can tie this without doing this, but I just think it's a little bit neater. So you've opened up the lay of one cord, and you put the other cord through that opening. And just centre that again. Give it a bit of a twist to close it up again. Okay, so that looks pretty neat. Make sure they're centered, yes. Okay, now we just start crowning. You can use either one of these as the base. I quite like the double one there, so we'll start that way. This is just over 1 crowning. You can speed through this part. It's I've shown it before, and no doubt you've seen it before or done it before. You don't really have anything to hold on to in the first few knots, so you just kind of squash it up in your fingers a bit. And again, just over one, over the next one, over the next one, and the next one you go over by going through that loop. Okay, we'll try the next one a bit looser, and then I'll introduce the first of the pink ones. so we just open that centre. I don't think there's enough there to open up really, but and the first of the pink ones just go here. It's not enough to open up there, but we'll just hold it in position and lock it in with these. So that's your first core, and just carry on crowning. You crown around that pink core. It's actually a purple. This is going to be a purple rose effectively with a blue stem. Not quite nature, but okay, I could probably introduce the next pink one after this. Spread that out a little bit so you can get a little bit of a grab in there. No, still not enough, but that doesn't matter. Just be gentle to keep it in position for the first one. And the second one should lock it. So probably about every 3 crowns or so you introduce a new pink one. It doesn't really matter, there's no rule. If you want a longer stem, you make these cords longer to start with, and you can just introduce them at a greater interval. Okay, now I might do a single diamond at this point. Just have that little bit of texture, like a sort of a, nodule in the stem. So diamond is raise one like that, and the other one crosses over it, goes underneath the next one, and hold it up there. Now this one goes over that next one, and then under the next one, hold it up. Next one goes over and under that first one we moved there. And hold it up. Now the last one goes over that first one and then under the raised loop. And that's it. Normally you double this by following the lead around, but I just want to make a sort of a small textural change, so we're not going to double it, it's just a single. Just draw all these up carefully. You can usually pull them straight through because it's only singled with one go. You don't have to sort of go and tease them out. Yeah, that's fine. I'll push that up. So it just makes a little plaited sort of finish around the stem. Now do a bit more crowning. We could, maybe I'll do oh no, just to carry on normal. I was going to say we could do over 2 crowning at this point just to change the texture a bit, but it's only going to be a short section, so I'm not going to change it up. You know, if you want to change texture, use a different crown by all means. See how it works. Okay, that's probably enough. So we'll do a what do we do here? Just hold it there. I might have a cup of tea. Think about it. Okay, back again. So we're going to do a, to get this bit, which is mostly hidden, but it kind of adds a nice sort of authenticity to it or something, because there's usually green bits around the bottom of flowers. We're going to tie a loose crown, so it's variation on a foot rope, not really. So a crown with just over 1 to start. Put a knot in these just to keep them a bit tidier. So we've done the over 1 crown. Now we're doing an under 2 wall. So just start with any one and then go under 2. So 1, 2. It's going under both of those. Hold it up here. Don't pull it up tight because it's easier to distinguish where they are if they're a bit looser. This one goes under that one and under that one, and then hold it up. Now this one, because we've only got 4, this one goes under this one and then under that first one we used. So under there. Now the last one goes under the first one and under the second one. So those 2 are the first ones we used. So under that one and under that one, so under 2. That just makes this bottom curve longer, which looks a bit more like leaves, like coiled, sort of curled leaves, like buds. Now we double this, so it's coming out, we're double below, so that's our lead. We double below that lead. Just follow it all the way around. Okay, so it follows all the way down, and we do that with each one. So that's following the crown part. After this circuit we follow the wall part. That follow. Now, again, start with any one, just keep following it, but it goes under 2, so it goes all the way around to here. Now, I'll put it through just to show you. So it goes all the way around, and at that point, it's tripled. So we don't want to triple, we go, that's the start of our lead, so we go in front of it and up through there. Okay, now I'll just tighten these up a little bit. So again, pick any one and just follow it all the way around. Keep following around under 2 here and then up there. We want to go up through there. So follow it under and then up through there. Last one. Okay, so that's that bud part of it tied. Just go through and fair it up. So that starts there. We can follow that top one around, pull down the top one of each of those lines to start, and that comes around and is the bottom one of those. So we'll turn up a little bit more. It starts here. So. Okay, it doesn't need to be too tight because it's mostly going to be covered with the flower itself. Okay, so So we've still got a little bit of this cord. Now 5 doesn't go into 4 obviously, so just spread those out in between, and one of them will have 2 out coming out, but that doesn't matter. Now we're going to tie a few more crowns, but just with the blue ones, and leaving these out because we're going to tie the rose with those next. So just a few simple crowns, and this will make that shape in there. I haven't really been counting, but I guess you do about 5 or 6, depends how much you want that to stick out or not. And that's probably enough. Now I'm going to tie some more crowns, but not bring them up to the top. I'm going to wrap them around the bottom, so it's not a very stable thing, but it's going to be buried. It just gives it a bit more bulk and gets rid of these leads. Well, I've probably got enough to tie a diamond. I might do that. Barely enough, but I'm pulling these in a sort of a downward motion. You can tuck them through here if you wanted to as well, but so most of it's going to be covered. Okay, so it just gives us a little bit more of a ball for the rose to be tied around, and they're nice and tight, so that's not going to come loose. Just trim those, don't have to be too short. You could put a dab of glue on the end of them if you wanted to be very certain, or as I say, tuck them down into there, but I was running a bit out of cord, so but that's fine. Okay, with these ones, this one we did a crown which was over 1 and then a wall which was over 2. This is the opposite of that, so we're doing a over 2 crown and then a normal wall. So start with anyone, go over 2, over 2, over 2, 1, 2, now over 1, over 2, so into that first hole, and this one, that was the first hole, second hole, so into that one and into that one, so we go down there, so it's over 2. I'm going to triple this, so it's going to be quite a bulky sort of knot. So we've done over 2, now we do under 1 wall, so just a straightforward wall. Let's get these front views there. Often it pays to leave the first one down so you recognise it. Okay, so that's the basis of the rose. Now we just follow the leads. So this one's coming out the same as that, so we follow that one around. Now, when we did this doubling, we came up to this point and then went up there, so, but we're tripling, so we just carry on following. One more circuit. Again. So we're continuing past those two, so now it's going to be tripled, which is what we started already. You're going under two lots here, so just make sure you maintain the path, you don't get diverted somewhere. It's handy about the spike because you can make the straight line and see it clearly. Okay, so at this point, if we carried on, so we've doubled here, so we carry on triple. If we carry on past here, we'll then come out here and we'll be 4. So we, instead of coming out, we go up into the middle of the knot. So that one goes up there. So this one goes up past the beginning, which is the beginning of that whole triple, and then up through there. This one comes round, that's the beginning of this triple, so we go up past that point there and then out the top. So follow it around and then up through there. Follow it around. That's the beginning, so we go up past the beginning. Make sure you come out the middle and not out in between those. That's the only thing to watch for. But you'll see that if you do it. Okay, so that's the bulk of our row started. We're going to crown these and then come back down and trim them off, but we have to tighten it all up first. So I'm going to push it back down. You could have... Okay, I might go over 2 just to carry on that large swirl. So over 2 crown. Over 1 and over 2. This one goes through both those. So it's over that one and then over that one, which means through there. Okay, and they then go back down and come out the base here and we trim them. But we've got to tighten this all up first. So this part gets a bit tedious. So you've seen it, I'll speed it up, but yeah, basically that's the beginning of your knot. So you start there on each of the 5 strands. Tighten it all up a bit, but not too tight because we've got to push those back down. And I like a kind of a, I don't like an overly tightened rose because it looks more like a rose if it's a bit more fragile. Depends what you're going to do with it, I suppose. I'll retie this bit here. Just we'll pull these up a bit first, it makes it easier. Probably be tightened a little more. So I'll go around once more and do it a little bit. I don't want it too tight. And don't pull these top ones too tight because they close in. And you want to leave a bit of that open to make it look more flower-like. Actually, maybe we'll do that centre crown now too. So again, over 2 it was. Now, you want this crown to go, still leave that bud in the middle exposed. So we're going to push them through and try and pull them down below that. Don't at this stage pull them tight yet, just keep them like that because we're going to tighten this bit a little bit more. You can sort of vary the tightness. These ones are better, a little bit tighter than these ones because they're the upper parts of the petals. Okay, being the highly professional outfit that I am, the camera stopped shooting just as I was tightening up. So basically all you've missed, we'd already tightened this. The only thing to watch out for is the center crowning, the over 2 crowning that we did, which pushed back down through here, which you saw me do. When you're tightening it, just tighten them one at a time and push them to the sides of that center blue bit, just so you can still see that it just adds a little bit of contrast. If this was a lighter green, that would be quite a nice little contrast there, but it's quite dark, so it might not see it as well. But yeah, just pull those one down at a time from here, and then when it's all snug and you're happy, you just trim them off right there and put a dab of glue on them, and then just sort of close them over. But that's it. I call it the purple rose of Cairo because that's colour, obviously. Hope that was enjoyable, and I hope you have success making it. I make all this cord myself. There's a link in the description down below where you can get it. Any hard laid cord is really good to use. Yeah, this is 3.5mm and this is 2.5mm. I find the difference in thickness is quite good for this project. Yeah, it just adds different textures. Makes the flower look a bit lusher. So, I hope that was good.